I hate to say I told you so on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, obviously, with me Steve Merchant, and Karl Genius Pilkington.
Absolutely. I was watching a bit of TV.
Karl the Brain Pilkington.
Yeah, the brains. I was watching a bit of TV last night, Rick.
Go on.
And I had a little
Children Need?
No, well, I didn't watch Children Need.
Oh,
I was watching something, I think it was last night, it was a bit earlier. I had a little thought for lads that might be out tonight, you know, on the Raz.
Yeah.
Maybe they get a little bit of success with the ladies.
Yeah.
This was something that struck me as I was watching it. A lot of gentlemen, you know, when they're engaged in, you know, an act of, you know, relations with a lady, they like to sort of, you know, think of an image or something that will prevent them from, you know, and you catch my drift. We're men in the world.
Grandmother's funeral is the cliche, isn't it?
Exactly. And I'll tell you what I think it should be. Rick Waller jogging. I was watching Fit Club. I have never seen anything
I liked it when
Rick.
Harvey lost it with him.
Oh man alive. I mean, I know I slag him off, but I don't really like him either. I just think he comes across appallingly, and I think, you know,
when he just walked away in that mid-conversation talking to that bloke, they're doing it for his good, really.
But he's like 31 stone?
I think he lost a bit. I think he's 29 now. Don't exaggerate, Steve. You make him sound like a fat.
but you know, I mean, yeah.
That was close, wasn't it?
When having sex, you know, apparently, thinking of, Rick Waller helps.
Oh, don't look what's happened.
Exactly.
That's the reverse effect.
Yeah.
Oh no, me and Karl.
No, if you're with a lady, apparently that works.
I know, he's out now, isn't he? He's out.
Did he walk out?
I think so. I think that's it, from what I can...
No, I think next week they kick him out, because I read something about, they get rid of him next week because of his attitude, and the first time I read it I thought he'd actually ate someone's hat. But it was, you lost me.
He's got rid of him because of the attitude. Oh!
Everything you think of now is puns. You can't get puns out of your head, can you?
Oh, Karl, you're great. Look at his little face.
He's so pleased. How long have you been working on that?
You've got to give him that. That was a real joke. Look at his face. He knew it was funny. It was meant to be funny. He said it to be funny, and it was. Well done. Well done.
I'm just interested, I just want to dissect it, because it was brilliant, and I'm wondering, how long have you been working on it?
About 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. It was worth the wait.
I got it now.
Oh, well done.
The attitude.
Well, I don't think... there's only one band that can top that. Another band from Manchester. Oasis.
Oh.
Vines. Mrs. Jackson on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Right. Getting towards that time where Karl really kicks into action. We've got the quiz. We've got Rockbusters. The quiz that's a bit like Blockbusters, but mainly around music. Yeah, and a pun, a scenario, based in wordplay by Karl. You know how good he is at that.
Can I tell you what the prizes are this week, because they're worth playing for?
Please do.
Okay, we got on DVD the Manic Street Preachers' Greatest Hits on DVD. The videos, I'm assuming. The film Human Traffic, it's a remixed DVD version of that. I think we were giving this away last week. You've obviously got a bulk stock of these. Groove Armada's Love Box, an album from them. The best air guitar album in the world ever. That's got the likes of Queen, Adams, Palmer, Leopard, Idol. I don't see it. I
think the Smiths should be on there.
We got Purple, Wolf, Cooper, Top, Quo, and Back, Nickelback. Now there was another one around actually. I seem to have lost one of the prizes. Oh, here we are. Yeah, this is you might see this advertised on TV, the Best Bands Ever album, and just imagine who this is aimed at. It's got Oasis on there, Nickelback, Coldplay, the Dandy Warhols, Bohemian Like You, in brackets, as featured in the Vodafone TV ads. Then it's got Smash Mouth, Walking on the Sun, as featured in the Ford Fiesta TV ads.
It's for people who didn't know they liked indie.
Exactly.
They go, I don't like indie, but you do. Do you like this advert? Yeah. Do you like this advert? Yeah. Well, you like indie then? I do. I love indie.
I can't believe it.
That's great.
Yeah. The Mock Turtles, Can You Dig It, as featured in the Vodafone TV ads.
I really like indie.
Do you love the T-Mobile TV ad?
Yeah.
You'll love this. It's got Royce Cup on there, which is featured in there. So that's an album for people who don't like music.
That's great. That's coming up, Rockbusters.
But I also have a movie, because you know last week I gave away Executive Decision.
Yeah.
That was on TV last night.
Yeah.
You didn't receive my copy.
But they probably watched it before it was on TV.
Yeah.
A few days before.
I was clearing out, Rick, last night. I found another one which might be just to entice people.
Go on. What is it? It's coming out the bag.
The Pelican Brief.
Oh.
Another arbitrary film choice on VHS. Pelican Brief. Robert Washington. You know it's
it now on VHS before there were no more VHSs around?
It was £6.99. I'm giving that away as well.
That's great, and that's his personal collection.
That's from my personal collection.
Did you see that picture, Carl?
I don't think it's even rewound from when I watched it.
Really?
No, it's not. You can rewind that yourself.
Brilliant. That's the little touch of Steve Merchant there.
Exactly.
Did you see that picture that you brought in?
I have actually. Can I see it again, Carl? Yeah, it's just a picture of you carry it with you, do you? In your wallet all the time?
He found it, right?
Last week I was sorting it, because I'm moving. I'm sorting all my files out and that. And, because this is the only school picture
He had one school picture taken when he was that 10 in 1981?
I was about eight and nine.
Okay, tell the story. Why is that the only school picture you had taken?
Just because, no, I had them all, I was always had them taken, right? But my dad thought they were overpriced for what you get. Because really, he said that the whole idea of a good picture is like, not only the person that's in it, but like the surroundings.
Yeah.
So like, if you're on holiday, he'll look at me and he'll go, oh yeah, you're looking well there. What's that hill in the background? Or something like that. Whereas with
That's Rick Waller, catching up.
But all you get on these school pictures is like a blue background, innit?
Yeah.
So it was like, I'm not paying for that.
Sure.
And it was a big one, you get a bigger one than that, but that's just like a little passport size, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was £1.60. And he wasn't really happy paying that, because he said you could get like some done from True Print for a lot cheaper.
That he could take himself.
Yeah.
So, and so did he tell you at the time that was the last time he was paying for a school picture?
He said, I'll get you one, because it's good to have a picture of you at school.
Yeah.
Because they hardly ever went and all that. So he said, like...
What's that in the background? That's my school dad. Oh,
I don't recognise it. You got any interesting stories about it? Not really.
So, I was a good-looking kid there, wasn't I?
What are you doing with your mouth, though, Carl? It looks like you're it looks like a bit like you're a ventriloquist dummy.
What do you mean?
Well, it looks like you're sort of scrunching your mouth up, or pursing your lips, or something. Do you not think?
Oh.
I mean, now you've got, dare I say it, very kissable lips. So in here, look how thin they are. Look at those little thin lips. It's like you...
I'm smiling.
That's a smile?
Oh, that's what I didn't recognise that
No,
either.
I didn't realise that was a smile.
Is that what you look like when you smile? Oh.
What's happening with the head?
Has your dad seen you smile before then?
Well, I think that's why he wanted to buy one as well. That's like, so he can remember what it was like.
Right.
Because I don't smile.
When did you stop smiling? When was the last time you had fun and you just like happy-go-lucky? When can you remember when you had no weight of the world on your shoulders?
I often think that. Because I don't sleep like I did, like when I was a kid. I had really good sleeps, and now I don't.
Right.
So I think...
But you've got a lot of things on your mind, you know, where can I buy soil?
Yeah, how can I confuse a computer by tapping in Y in the search engine?
Yeah.
Probably when I was 14, I was stress-free.
Were you?
Yeah.
When was the paper round?
Probably when I was 15.
Right. That's when it started, was it?
I reckon. That's when I started getting stressed.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the haircut you've got in the, because obviously I've not seen you before with hair, and it's an interesting mop. Do you have that done at the barber's?
No, my mum used to do it.
She cut that?
Yeah.
Right,
She used to, what she used to do, you can't see it in that picture, but there was one where she did, bit of a mess of it. I mean, it looks quite
I can't tell from this picture.
No, that's one of the better ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right. Were you bullied much?
on one of them, she used to like use a bit of newspaper in front of my eyes, so she didn't like stick these scissors in my eyes.
So newspaper stops scissors every time.
Yeah, because I think they use that for bulletproof vests.
Yeah, the tough fabric of a reconstituted newspaper will stop the scissor any time.
No, definitely. I remember, because I know a lot of UN guys when they're on patrol, they use some old copies of The Sun.
They put it in their pocket.
Yeah, the Daily Star.
Sorry, yeah, okay, yeah.
So, she used to always be on a Sunday night when, like, Songs of Praise is on or something, nothing was on the telly, just before Last of Summer Wine or something.
Yeah.
She used to get the...
What a depressing time that was.
It was.
Having your hair cut and listening to Songs of Praise, waiting for Last Summer Wine.
Yeah.
I always used to get depressed on Sunday nights. Well, I'll tell you, and it wasn't because school was the next morning, it was because the telly was so shite.
I think it was because school was next morning, because the Antiques Roadshow still does that for me. I see the Antiques Roadshow, I love it, but I'm just thinking I've got to go to school or work tomorrow.
Yeah.
The Roadshow, I wish they put it on the week.
But I know, I've never really had that. When I worked, I suppose. I work now. Don't I? No. Oh, what a giveaway. What a giveaway.
Sorry, you were telling us a story about...
So anyway, so she'd get the newspaper, right, and she'd stick it in front of my eyes, and
what does that say? Go on.
So she'd
You inherited a lot from your mum, didn't you?
So she'd cut me fringe, right?
Yeah.
But then she'd go, oh, it's not straight, it's not very good. So she'd go again, and she'd keep going, and the problem
is that why you're bald now?
I was going to say, is this that you have got hair, but she has to get it right.
Yeah.
It takes her to the back of your neck to get it even.
She sort of removed the newspaper, and she was like, oh God. And I said, what? And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. And like...
What, did this happen every Sunday?
Can I ask you, Carl, when she was cutting your hair in this picture, do you think she was maybe sidetracked by an interesting article in the paper and really wasn't paying attention to what she was doing?
Or did her favourite hymn come on?
Yeah,
and
indeed.
she started
or Compo was rolling down the hill.
in a bath.
So yeah, I ended up with like, you know, a fringe sort of on the back of my head, because it just kept going further and further.
Sure.
But,
when did you start going to that barber that was on the railway station?
that's when I started work, so, you know, sort of 16, 17.
And is he the one that said you have the hair of a Chinaman?
He's the one who's, yeah.
He sounds like a wise man.
Well, can I just stop? I think maybe we should play a tune, but maybe you could bring in some photos next week, Rick, and we can talk about them on the radio.
Yeah, and I'm just going to do a card trick. Right, take a card. Any card. Yeah. Right, look at it. Is that your card? What about a jellyfish?
No, you see, I think that's where you can say you wouldn't be able to have a good chat with them, because to me, the sea might as well be another world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In a way, I think the fish sort of have more rights than us.
What do you mean?
Just because when whoever made the world, right, say, you know, we're just bigging up God, but if I was to have a go at him, I'd say, you added too much water.
Criticism 1 to God, right?
So...
how would you have changed that? Just
more land.
Fair enough. Now, why have fish got more rights than us?
Because there's loads of them, and when you look at the amount of sea on the world, right, there's loads of that. You only have to like you know, I was in Malaga the other week, right, and you know, you look in the sea, there's loads of different fish, and that's just in like 8-foot water. If you go miles out, there's like all sorts of weird fish, isn't there, with like lights on them and everything. So, and there's just millions of different types.
Yeah.
Now,
but why does that mean they've got more rights than us?
Just because I think, you know, rights come in numbers, don't they? If you know what I mean. Like, if there's one of you shouting, people go, oh, he's an idiot, shut up, whatever. If there's loads of you shouting, they go, oh, best listen to him, see what they've got to say. Right. And that's what I mean about fish.
Yeah.
There's loads of fish.
Right.
So...
But they're not really making their voices heard, though, are they, Carl?
Yeah. I know, because they're underwater. But what I mean is, I don't know what I mean.
What would you do, right, if you had to go back and you were in a, you had to go and put your mind in, like, an unhatched egg of something? Like, maybe one of those, that a wasp was injected in a spider. So you know you're in an egg, right, which is really uncomfortable, in a spider. How would you feel about that, Carl? You're a baby wasp in the abdomen of a spider.
And I know everything that I know now. I'm sat in there.
Yeah. And now I'm in a spider as an unborn wasp. What the fuck am I doing here? What's going on?
I don't know what I'll do there. Probably try and sleep. There's nothing else to do, though, is there?
I just pray to God it never happens. Learned some famous quotes to see if they are as good as my sayings. Number 1, treat every day as if it's your last. Very famous saying. Now, is that something you do, Carl?
But you know, my problem with that one is that if it was your last, you wouldn't want to be doing much. That's the only problem I've got with that. I wouldn't want to, you know, go to a fairground or whatever, because you're going, oh, it's my last day, what am I going to do? And I think you'd spend so much time worrying about what you're going to do that you'd end up staying in.
I think you're right. You've taken some of the poetry out of it. I think it means live life to the fullest, right?
I like the fact that you were musing on the idea that if it was your last day, you'd go to the fair. It's getting such a 19th century way of spending your final day.
I know, yeah. Well, the thing is, the other thing is that, the only thing that people get depressed about in terms of sort of like, you know, life and death is, not the knowledge that they're gonna die, but more the knowledge that they know they're gonna die when they're dying. If someone told you, no one ever knows when they're gonna die, no one ever gets an illness, no one ever gets hit by a truck, everyone passes away peacefully in their sleep, dreaming they're riding a big marshmallow, right? Then you wouldn't care about anything. It wouldn't matter when, it wouldn't matter if you died tomorrow or in 30 years' time. You'd just live life to the full. You'd have it, every day would be great. You'd go out, you'd come back, you'd fall asleep. That would be amazing. There'd be no stress. There'd be no angsty, we're all gonna die stress, because it wouldn't matter. Because it would just be your life. Wouldn't it be amazing if someone guaranteed you, Carl, you're gonna die in your sleep? I'm not gonna tell you when.
Yeah, but some people do, don't they?
Well, exactly.
Yeah,
but we
I
never
want
know
that.
we're going to, because we stress. What if we get a dreadful illness? What if we, you know...
But we're almost not letting people die naturally anymore, are we? Because we're always bodging stuff up.
What do you mean?
Well, someone who might naturally die in the sleep aren't allowed to naturally die in the sleep because they wake them up with those electric things and get them going again and pop in a new lung or whatever whilst they're at it. That's what I'm saying. They don't just... You never hear it anymore, do you? Frank peacefully died in his sleep. No, he died on the operating table whilst we were putting in a new lung. They don't die naturally anymore.
Frank died peacefully with 40,000 volts going through them and a couple of people going, clear! Clear!
My dad and me talked about history. I said we shouldn't go on about things that happened ages ago because I bet something similar has happened more recently.
Brilliant.
Read about an island in the Indian Ocean where there are tribesmen still living like they're cavemen. A helicopter tried to land and the tribesmen chucked spears at them. This is what I meant about not having to talk about things that happened ages ago. We have got new cavemen now, so why do we talk about the old ones? People could have lived before, but computers and all that blew up and books got burnt, so all they had left was what these tribesmen have got left.
Ramblings
And that's the ramblings
madman.
of a maniac.
That
I mean,
is
that's
a-
just a few hours before you go crazy with a gun in the...
No, but what I mean there is, right, say if all this has happened before, something happens,
Again, a lot of information from the Planet of the Apes.
world ends, right, we come back again somehow.
Yeah. It's the detail you leave out that makes you intriguing. Just like the watch that you can wear that tells you when you're going to die. How does it work? Pop it on your wrist. That's all the detail you need. So the world happened.
No.
We came back. Yeah.
Have you seen the pictures? Forget it then if you don't get it.
It's interesting that you had all those profound thoughts about this period in the past when they all lived, but you still found it appropriate to include at the end of that. It says the tribesmen wave their knobs about when they've had enough of having visitors.
That's what it said in the paper. That's what happens. They're quite happy.
What paper is this that you're reading?
It was in like a paper a couple of days ago. It said they don't mind having visitors if they're bringing them coconuts and stuff that they can eat. Once they've got everything they need, they start waving the tackle about, and that means like, right, leave now, which you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, at a dinner party.
My grandfather used to do that.
I was in there the other day, and like I say, little bird noises and that, and a little robin was there, and I thought that's odd, that's out early, right? Because it's like sort of summertime and that.
Sure.
And then I thought, oh, that's nice, and I was watching it, and then it got like a little worm, right? And I was like, hey, put it down, right?
Sorry, whoa! What do you mean?
Because
Why
I
are you
didn't have-
interfering? Why were you interfering
In nature.
with a robin taking a worm?
Just because it was a nice sunny day and that, and I thought, you see, worms normally come out when it's raining, don't they? And you go, well, I bet they're happy to die, in a way, because it's chucking it down, it's miserable. They come to the top of the soil then, don't they?
Yeah.
When it's miserable. But it was a sunny day.
That's they don't drown, I assume.
No, it's not that, is it? It's just that they hear the water or something falling on the ground and they go up to see what's happening.
What? No way. But why do they come up when they think it's raining? You're a worm, okay? It starts raining. Tell me your thought process.
Well, you just you're down there, you can't see anything, it's dark anyway.
Yeah.
So the rain's coming down on the land, the worm goes, what's going on?
The worm goes, what's going on?
He wiggles up to the top.
So what does he do?
So it goes up and it sort of sees it's raining, and then it goes back down again, doesn't it? But that's what I'm saying about...
What do you mean? What is this world where he goes, oh, it's just rain again? Oh, so that's the 400th time I've been caught out this year. It's rain. I'll remember next time. I won't come up. What do you think a worm is capable of in terms of cognitive thought?
What do you mean?
Well, a worm can basically tell certain chemicals and certain light patterns. That's all it is, really.
Yeah, and
It's not thinking. It's not choosing its favourite food.
you don't know that, though, is what I'm saying. You don't know what things are thinking. Everything thinks, doesn't
No,
it?
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, the thinking.
There's something in this room that's not.
All right, what about this one, then? What about flowers? Do you think they've got
A mind.
a feeling? Because here's something that...
Again, they use phototropism. They go towards the sun. They close and
All right,
open.
well, here's-
Can you
they
stop
grow.
using long words, Rick, like sun?
Listen, But what I was saying is about the worm, this robin that I saw that was eating the worm, it had hold of it, and I thought it's a sunny day in that, give the worm a break sort of thing. So I went, oh, like that, and it sort of dropped it in shock. But then when it realised I wasn't that near it, it picked it up again and swallowed it. And I just thought, oh, do you know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean, no.
I just thought it's a sunny day and everything. Normally birds are nice noises that I like, and yet there it is going about wrecking lives.
Wrecking lives! It was a worm!
But it just swallowed it really quickly in that, and I just thought, there's the worm. It came out, it was happy, didn't know what was going on, and it had an extra chance. The robin dropped it, and then it got it again and ate it, and I just made me a bit fed up.
Well, do you know why, don't you? You couldn't outwit a robin. The worm was going, oh, God, Karl Pilkington. So that's who's been sent to save me, is it, God? You've sent Karl Pilkington. Oh, I'm dead. That's it. Okay, eat me. Oh, God. Oh, can I just tell this quickly? In the week, I'm talking to you now, the listener. Usually I don't.
Yeah.
Karl said, about embarrassing him on air and that, and he's worried about his education, and he was worried about not knowing long words. Like, we come up with any long words. And he said, no, I was scared, you were going to ask me something about, someone, and he's, Eastern European leader. His surname is Milosevic. And Karl said, so I learnt it this week, and learnt it so you can't catch me out in case you start. I said, what? And he said, he thought about it, and he went, Flobodan Milosevic.
Got the surname right, though, didn't he?
So what's his name?
Right?
What's his name?
That's how Bill and Ben would address this leader.
How would they have said it?
Flobodan Milosevic.
What's his name?
Slobodan Milosevic.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well done.
Anyway, Karl, look, you almost let it slip then as you were talking about your filling out that application form. There's some big news that everyone needs to know, which we were stunned by in the week, although the more we sort of talk to you, the more it starts to fall into place.
Yeah.
But Karl, what's the story?
That I haven't got me exam results from the GCSEs.
He never turned up to get his exam
I
results.
was working.
And so, how many did you take in the end? Because you weren't even sure about that, were you? You think you took maths and English, don't you?
Yeah.
And you think you've handed in the artwork for art, don't
Now, art was continual assessment, wasn't it? Coursework. And what was the that you made?
I made a man sort of putting his arms into a car.
You made a model of a man putting his arms into a car.
What was this?
So that one's passed.
Was
We
that
can
this,
take that
this is a
aside.
homage to break-ins in Manchester? Was this? What was this? Oh look, he does what he sees.
Yeah.
So
So you've
what's
got that. That's safe. You've definitely got that one.
So you've taken art, you've taken English and maths, you think? So this is what we're going to do, listeners. We're going to try and find out his exam results for him and tell him next week.
Live on air.
We're going to call his school, we're going to try and track him down, and we are going to have a little envelope, and we are going to give Karl, at the age of 29, his O-level results. GCSEs, yeah.
Now, Karl, so you took maths.
Yeah.
You think you took English. Do you remember turning up to do those? Do you remember sitting in the room filling in the forms?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you feel you did?
I don't think I did well.
You don't think you did well? Did you revise?
No.
Why didn't you revise?
Because I don't really believe in it.
Okay.
Well, it's just that if you don't know it, then you don't know it. You shouldn't have to start looking at the book. If I went to like the hospital,
Yeah.
and the doctor said, oh, you need your appendix out, but hang on a minute, I've just got to read up on it.
Yeah.
That isn't good enough.
Okay.
He should know, and that's the way I feel about it.
To be fair though,
He did do the revision beforehand.
yeah, they don't usually pass on, like, maybe, like, when they're in practice.
Yeah,
7 years
information
down
they
the
took in
line.
by osmosis.
Yeah, yeah, and bloke comes in and goes, can I just see what you did with that? And I goes, you've passed.
Yeah. Phew.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Good job I watched Casualty.
I just like the way, the things that interest me, I remember. Things
Okay.
like snakes not having ears and stuff.
Yes.
I didn't have to read about that.
No, you just learnt that, yeah.
You saw it on the telly, didn't you? You saw it on that Ian Wright programme.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is what Karl said to me. He said, it's actually, I called Karl up in the week, and Reese was with him. Reese used to be on XFM, and he took the phone, and he went, Karl's worried after seeing that programme. He said, snakes don't have ears, right? He said, so you can creep up on them and pick them up. And he said, Karl's worried. He said, how'd you ever put them down again? Because then they know you're there.
I woke up the other night, quite late,
Worried about that.
and I said to my girlfriend, I said, how do you put a snake down? And she said, what are you talking about? I said, that Ian Wright thing, this guy managed to pick up a snake. And do you know that thing where they clamp its head on a jar to get the poison out?
I do now.
Right? They did that, but they didn't show you how they got rid of it, and I thought, it could really get nasty, because it's obviously annoyed that you've had its head pressed in the jar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
They hate that.
Now,
Especially as it's in front of their mates.
When you lift it off,
Yeah.
right, you've got hold of it.
Yeah.
If you go to chuck it down, it's going to turn on you.
It's going to go wild, isn't it?
So, I just wondered.
Well, what you do is you never put it down, Carl.
Yeah, that's why that bloke has got about, 11 or 12 just carrying him.
Exactly.
Yeah, you never put it down. You sling it. Who cares?
You just throw it, don't you, really far.
That's not, that I don't think you should throw
But
snakes.
Carl, listen, don't worry, we're not asking you to get involved with snakes, we're just asking you now, you've done maths, you think?
Yeah.
Did no revision for that?
No.
Okay. English, do you remember what it was? Did they ask you about Shakespeare? Did they ask you
I
about
can't
books?
remember, but I must have done it because I thought that was...
It was English language, not English literature, wasn't it? So it was
Was
like...
it spelling and all that?
So was it like a comprehension, you read a passage and had to ask questions on it? Was it, did you have to write a short essay?
I don't know, I can't remember any of that.
Okay.
I did a science.
Okay, physics or chemistry?
Physics.
Alright, well done. And this is all you think?
You actually took that? You actually took physics GCSE, you think?
You're obliged to do a language, I think. Did you do French?
I did French for a bit,
I don't think you are. I don't think you have to do a
I
language.
think you have at GCSE, I think you've got to.
Well, English quite good. I think that's his language he did.
So you don't know about language. History? Geography?
Just what you will find out, won't we?
Okay. But you just can't remember. I can't believe you can't remember turning up for these things, because it's quite a big moment in people's lives. It is the thing that you've been working to all of your educational life.
On the day that the things came out, I was working as a printer.
Okay.
And it was a really busy day.
A lot of spelling mistakes that
It was
day,
a really
that
busy
paper,
day,
wasn't
so
it?
you're bound to forget.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but I had to use gold ink that day.
Oh.
And it's,
Yeah,
I mean, you're
yeah,
not a
yeah,
printer,
yeah.
so you don't know.
No, that's the biggie, innit?
But it's tough, you've got to really get your rollers clean.
Carl, play a record, mate, and good luck with the exam results. Hopefully we'll have them for you by next week.
PJ Harvey on XFM 104.9, the home of the classics.
Absolutely.
Classics.
Classics.
Oggy.
Oi.
Well, we were talking earlier about this, as this book, They Died Young, right? And there's all these theories about these people, like famous people that, aren't really dead. And I remember speaking to someone about this, okay? And they said to me, Bruce Lee is not dead, right? They said he's not dead, right? And I said, well, how do you know? So he's going, no, it was a whole big thing by the Hong Kong government, and he's actually working as an undercover cop in Hong Kong. using his kung fu powers. Now,
No, apparently he faked his own death, Carl.
Yeah.
So that he could work undercover for the Hong Kong
Yeah.
police, infiltrating gangs, the triads, that sort of thing.
now, my point is this. If you're gonna use someone undercover in Hong Kong, right? You know, an undercover cop, I suggest using the most famous Chinaman of all time. That would
that's
be
a guarantee.
Yeah. So, when he's taking away a gang, they're going, you look a bit like Bruce Lee. He's going, no, I don't know. See this moustache?
It's a bit wonky.
Well, just take my word for it. I'm not Bruce Lee, alright? Well, all that stuff he did when you punching us and kicking us and chopping, yes. But, I'm not.
It does look a bit like the stuff in my film, in his films.
In his films, yeah.
But it's not.
It's
just
not.
coincidence.
No, yeah.
Thing is, though, I'm not sounding bad here, not trying to offend anyone, but they do all look the same.
They do all look.
No.
No, we're having a serious chat. I'm not here to upset anyone.
Right.
And what I'm saying is, over here,
I'm so sorry.
no, I'm not. Yeah, but you know me, I'm not out to upset anyone.
Right.
You're not a racialist.
No.
What do you mean? Are you saying Orient people all look alike?
Well, look at the people over here, right?
Yeah.
With you've got ginger people. You've got people with black hair, you've got people who are fat, people who are thin, but they're all so sort of fit, which isn't a bad thing. They all do that sort of thing in the park. They're all fit. It's a place where black hair, I mean, when they come here, they take pictures of people with ginger hair, don't they? Because they don't get them over there. That's what I'm saying. So calm down. Jeez.
So you're saying that Bruce Lee, the most famous Chinese movie star of all
They
time,
can't tell him apart.
other triad members would. How are they? How are they going about the business at all? I mean, what I'm saying is, how would they even realise that was the guy?
What do they have to do? Wear numbers in, because there's a billion.
No, but when you know them, then you know.
So what? Oh, I see. They can tell each other apart, can they? Well, they got signals. This is amazing, isn't
That's
it?
how you got away with it.
Simon, which one are you? Just raise your hand, Simon. Yep. Chang, which one's Chang? Chang, good. Yeah.
Oh, it must be murder, mustn't it? Just
That can be the only.
people going into the wrong houses all the time. getting off with their mates' wives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It must be a nightmare.
It must be a nightmare. Please don't complain. He doesn't know what he's doing. So I'm really sorry to anyone he honestly does not know what he's saying. XFM 104.9.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
Go on.
I don't think I am offending anyone.
Okay. Fine, that's alright then.
And you know that I wouldn't want to do that.
No, I know you don't.
Before
I know.
I swore
Oh, I
on the
know.
radio, I said, right, if you got kids in the car, turn your radio down.
So before you make any potentially racist remarks, just point out if you are listening and you might be Oriental.
Yeah.
Please don't take offence.
Or go, oh.
You know what I mean. So
Yeah.
go on then, so what was this other dead person? Who's not...
Carl, play a record. Ricky's having a heart attack.
Well, the music of tomorrow is here.
That's true enough.
Yeah.
Must have
been some sort of muck up with the post.
Rick, a lot of the times when I've played Hip Hop Hooray, my hip hop track of the week,
Yeah.
you've sort of scoffed, you've thought that maybe I don't have credibility amongst the hip hop fraternity.
No, it's just the way you dance.
Well,
It's merely the way you dance that worries me. Because people can't see it, really. And it's sort of like... Imagine if Mr. Bean thought he was in D12. You know what I mean? It's that sort of... And I don't diss you. I mean, I know you're a hip-hop appreciator. You know,
I wouldn't expect you to diss me. I'm a black queen. But the point is that there's a little something that Carl's got on tape for you that I think might change your opinion of my whole hip-hop credibility.
Oh, no.
Now, I've told you in the past,
Not
you know,
videotape, is it?
Not at all, not at all. Actually, Carl, just play it.
Yo, 1 2 1 2. We are the Dilated Peoples, chilling on Hip Hop Hooray.
That's right.
With Steve Merchant, y'all. XFM 104.9. LA to London, Dilated People expanding them.
All day.
Now,
Who got that?
how about
You did
that?
that, Carl.
No, it was just when I was hanging out with my homies.
No, who did it? Do they come in the week?
They were in the week, I think, and somebody got them to do it for him.
You know, no, that was when I was just hanging in the crib with them. Yeah, no. I was just hanging with them,
very nice, isn't
and the guys just laid down some beats for me.
Yeah.
You know, just laid down some vocals, and I gave them max respect for it. You know, and the place was mad deep with girls at the time.
I assume you're going to play Dilated Peoples this week then?
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's play it, Carl.
That's very good.